Alright, welcome back to Sonic Unleashed, where we're gonna go into the worst part of the game.
Welcome to Eggmanland, the brainchild of my heart and soul. This is my magnificent empire, made possible through my genius and the limitless energy harnessed from Dark Gaia.
What? Whoa, this place is crazy.
I'll never understand Eggman's tastes.
Get a good shot.
Surprised? Yes, of course you are. Sonic! If you have any complaints, come deliver them to me in person. If you can, that is.
Ah, he's enjoying this way too much.
Sonic! I can feel the last temple nearby. He must have built this place on top of it.
Well, I guess we'll just have to tear it down.
Welcome to
Welcome to Eggmanland. This is... I don't know, that sounded like I was like a fast food worker. Welcome to Eggmanland, home of the pain. So this is the final level in the game. It is one beefy motherfucker of a level. This whole video is this one level. So this is most likely the first time through the hardest level that you're going to encounter in this game. It's still pretty hard on subsequent playthroughs. You know, I'm not gonna lie about that. I'm not gonna mince any words. This is a hard level. It's long. It's overly complicated in sections, and it's just not a whole lot of fun. I absolutely adore the concept of this level. I love the basis of this. I love that Eggman finally created Eggmanland, which he's been talking about since Sonic Adventure 1. I think Sonic Adventure 1. So that was cool in that respect. I like the fact that this is a hybrid level. I think this game actually could have used more of those, even though it doesn't really make any sense. And when I say hybrid level, I mean it is literally a level where you play as both daytime gameplay and the Werehog. And I think that's a good idea. This game could have used way more of that. Also, these sections always reminded me of the Sonic OVA, where Sonic's running on the treadmill, trying to turn off the self-destruct sequence to Robotropolis. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but that's always what that reminded me of. So yeah, the big gimmick of this level is that you play as both Sonic and the Werehog. I don't know how this works. They don't really explain how you switch in between Sonic and the Werehog. So yeah. The Werehog sections are by far the worst part of this level. The first time through, you kind of fight through everything, and it makes it go even longer. But on subsequent playthroughs, you realize, oh wait, I can just run by a whole bunch of this nonsense. You can even run by these guys, although that was absolute garbage that happened. So yeah, you can run by these guys and just go real quick to that switch and flip it. But, you know, I want to just make sure that I can just flip the switch in peace. This level, it took me a couple tries. I got I think one game over here while I was recording this, and then, you know, the rest of it is this run through that you're seeing. It wasn't, like a lot of things in this game, it wasn't as bad this time as it was the first time through. Because I think some things, once it clicks, and you go, oh, I can just run by a bunch of stuff. You're never going to be challenged by it again like you were the first time. It's still annoying in sections, but it's not as annoying. I mean, this is still a 30-minute video where we play one level, but it's not nearly as bad as it could have been. If this was a blind playthrough, this is, like, hellish. And as I said before, if you want to see a very good blind Let's Play of this game, go watch PokeCaptain and the gang play this. I don't remember how long they were on Eggmanland for, but it was a very long time. And that is a very good interpretation of how you're going to be playing this game for the first time, and how Eggmanland is truly hell. But it's not unfairishly, like, hellish. That's the only good thing about Eggmanland. When you screw up, it's kind of your own fault. There are a few deaths that are dumb, like that I had before. That wasn't really my fault. That was the game mechanics literally killing me. So it's that good kind of challenging, but it's still not a level that I would ever go back and replay. And once again, the Werehog's on screen, so I'm yawning. It's not a level that I would go back and try and S rank, let's put it that way. I feel like I do have it in me, but I don't have the patience to, you know, keep restarting the level and go, oh, died there, gotta restart and try and get the S rank. I think I could do it, I would just really have to dedicate myself to it, which I honestly do not want to do. It's kind of like Sonic Generations, where I have every single trophy in that game, except for one, and that's the one where you have to fight the Time Eater without getting hit. Again, I have it in me, but I do not feel like doing that. Because not only is the Time Eater the worst boss in that game, I'm, like, really not good at it. So I really don't want to dedicate time to doing something like that I hate. This level's also pretty stingy with its checkpoints, so you're going to want to be mindful of that and how many lives you have. Thankfully, there are a few trouble areas in this level that can kill you quite a bit that actually do keep giving you one-ups, so you're maybe not in as much danger of gaming over in this level, but it's still, you know, going to be something that you're going to have to deal with. This, I get a lot of Sonic Colors from. Like a lot of things in this game, Sonic Colors kind of does this concept better. There are levels that look and play almost exactly like this section, and they're way better. You know, I guess the Starlight Carnival can kind of be considered Eggmanland version 2, only it's not as obnoxious. This part's actually pretty difficult. It's deceivingly difficult. Because this, you know, it doesn't control amazingly, and you have to dodge pretty much everything, otherwise you're going to lose a bunch of rings, and you're probably going to hit some nonsense. But the only part that I really have trouble with is at the very end, where you have to make a very tight jump. And you're probably not going to make it the first time, because you're probably going to hit something else, or you're just not going to be able to align yourself correctly. And it kills me at least once every single time. It's this part coming up right after here. You're probably going to hit one of those guys, and then jumping over that gate, if you're not already aligned, it's kind of like the Mach Speed sections in Sonic 06. If you're not already aligned, you're probably going to just die. So that's no fun. Also, you're supposed to boost through them, but I didn't want to die there, so screw that. I don't even particularly think the music in this level is very good. I like the daytime music, the just normal Sonic music, and then I like how it gets kind of more intense in the Werehog sections. But yeah, I like the look of this level. Eggmanland as a concept is really cool. I think if this was a little bit shorter, and if there was maybe less things to do as the Werehog, I think Eggmanland could have been one of the highlights of this game for sure. But as it stands, it's one of those sections that whenever I think about playing this game, I think of, oh, Eggmanland. and then I just don't play the game. Also, I'm shocked I recovered there and didn't die. That's another one of those things where you can't grab onto those tubes that we're climbing on. I was talking about this before. So if you slide off them, you're dead. But I still like to jump over them just to make it go quicker. It's a little bit more dangerous, but it does make the level go a little bit faster. So, also, since this is the last level, I'm not worrying as much about fighting the enemies. You know, if I don't have to, I'll skip them, because I don't necessarily need the experience anymore. Because in terms of the Werehog, we only have this level and then a boss battle. Thankfully, the only reason that I would ever consider playing Eggmanland is because the boss that we get as the Werehog is like the best boss in the game. So that's the only consolation, is that, oh, you beat Eggmanland, you went through hell and back. Here's a pretty good boss battle to make it up to you. So I don't think I saw the switch there. I think that's why I fought all those guys. You can just flip that switch if you go real quick and avoid all the enemies and then just exit this area. You know, that's the biggest thing that you take away from this level. The first time through, you're going to probably sit down and you're going to fight every single enemy in your way. But subsequent playthroughs, you're going to realize, oh, I don't have to deal with any of this. This section can get kind of hairy. In terms of platforming, this is probably the hardest part for the Werehog. Just because you got to be really careful about where you're jumping, and again, due to the fact that you can't grab onto these things, just makes this really, really hairy. Just remember my tips. Anytime that you're about to turn a corner on one of these pipes, stop and wait for the camera to move, because you're probably going to just fall right off otherwise. That I wasn't going to be able to recover from that one. So here come all the deaths. The funny thing about this level is that it takes a half an hour and I die a whole bunch in this video. I still get a pretty decent rank on it. So they knew how awful this level was, and how everyone was going to be dying all the time in this level. Because otherwise they would have made the timing like really tight, of like, yeah, you have to beat this in like 15 minutes to get an S rank or an A rank, and you have to die 0 times. But, you know, they're pretty lenient. You can die a couple times in Eggmanland. And trust me, I do. Thank God there was a checkpoint there. The only good thing about this is that I came in with this with at least a pretty decent amount of lives. And again, as I said before, there are a few sections in this level where they do just kind of hand you lives. Because again, I think they knew. I think they knew how bad this level was, and how people were going to be dying left and right. So that one move, that dash forward and triangle move that I discovered in that other level, is very handy here, because it takes out crowds very quickly. I kind of wish I knew about this more throughout the game, otherwise I would have been using it more. But as it stands, it's only really that one level and then this one. Also, whenever you hear those guys shooting, just shield yourself, because they do a lot of damage, and they shoot like for a very long time. This is making me mad watching this, because I hate this. I hate that I have to talk over it, and I hate that I have to edit this video again to edit my commentary into it, and I hate that I have to watch this again. This is just the worst. I think this might be an area that I can skip through too. Yeah, I think now that I see this, I kind of just try and exit out of here, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not. Maybe I actually bother to kill all these guys for their experience. Even though I don't need it, because I'm pretty huge already. I don't really need any more bigness to me. In terms of strength, that is. That sounded sexual. That wasn't supposed to be sexual. The parts that trip me up the most is when they have you switch to the just normal Sonic and there's no checkpoint. I'm always terrified of dying because of how slippery Sonic is. Like, the reason I keep inching towards those, the boost pads, or the bounce pads, is that I don't want Sonic to just, like, fall off while I'm trying to walk over towards it. That was dumb. Sonic's hitbox is dumb. You know, sometimes it'll just, like, hit the corner of Sonic, or it'll touch the tip of Sonic's toe, and he'll just die. That's a nice place to put all those spikes. I don't understand Eggmanland. I don't know what he was trying to accomplish here. Was he trying to just actually have, like, a theme park that people could go to? Because I don't think anyone's going to want to come here. I could at least understand the Starlight Carnival. You know, that's a, interstellar amusement park. A, it's cool because it's in space. B, it's actually got, like, rides and stuff. Sure, some of them lead to nowhere and they just go off the tracks. Some of them lead you into an asteroid belt. But at least I could see where the fun would be there. That is a part that I see a lot of people trip up at. And they just don't realize, like, oh, I could just duck there. So they always get hit by the saw blade. Oh, we're more than halfway done. I'm so happy. This is another tricky area because those button prompts are very quick. And that is a part that I've seen every single person trip up at, including myself, because I always forget that's there. That is one of the most devious things in this entire level. The word that I would use to describe Eggmanland is probably rude. This is one of the most rude levels in all of video games. It's like the people who designed this game normally went home this day, and all of the people in the office that all their ideas got rejected throughout the entirety of the game, they just got the ability to design a level. And no one, like, checked up on them while they were making it. And by the time they finished it, it was too late. Also, I hate to, sound like a broken record, but that death, that was because of how slippery Sonic is. And I know I've brought it up every single video, but I don't know if you've noticed, Sonic's a little slippery in this game. He's so slippery that I just walked forward and walked right off that to my death. That is the tightest one in this entire level. The timing is very, very quick. You have to be very quick at that. These I've never failed. I'm assuming it's an instant death if you fail those. I gotta say, this is actually going a little bit smoother than I thought it was going to, me talking over this. I thought I was gonna have to, like, just start rambling. But there is a lot to talk about in this level, so... See, if this level was nice, it would end right here. You would land right onto the goal ring. And you know what? I'd say, hey, that was a pretty alright level. It was a pretty decent length. It was a little too long, but at least it didn't go on for another 10 minutes. So over here, you can use the normal Sonic to wall jump up there and get into another area. I don't mind either path here. So we're gonna go through as the werehog. There's actually a good skip here that you can do that I didn't remember until I died in this section. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to jump to that platform and then go to the platform over there and then kind of do like a circular way through this room. But what you can do is from this platform, you can jump to those poles that you can swing on. Like right there, I had the option to grab that. Once I die in here, I'm going to utilize that, and that's a pretty big skip here. You know, some speedrunning strats. Because this is obviously an Eggmanland speedrun, if you couldn't tell already. Doing this the normal way, it just takes too long, because there's these two enemies here that you gotta fight, and then you gotta wait for these other poles. And it skips like half the room, so it's a pretty good strat to use, if I do say so myself. I think it probably depends on how good your jumping is in this game. And that was dumb. That was really stupid of me. And then I try it again, but I get hit by that guy. And then I think I just say screw it. And from here, I do that. It's really easy to do, but again, you have to kind of time your jumps correctly. Otherwise, you're probably not going to make it. And how many deaths is that so far? I feel like we've died at least 10 times throughout this level. And I'm still going to, like I said, I'm going to get a pretty good rank. I think I get like a B or an A. And we haven't even seen like half the deaths. We're going to get to a part coming up soon that is really awful. So this is one of those sections that is really stupid the first time through. I'm speeding it up because you do not have to fight these enemies at all. The aforementioned PokeCat in Let's Play of this, they did the same thing. They spent like forever fighting these guys and didn't realize that that pink door was there. That pink door, once you destroy it, reveals a switch that you can pull, or a lever you can pull. And that pretty much lowers the electric fence, and then you can just leave. So that's what you gotta do in those sections. There's another one like that, and that's all you have to do in those. So again, the second time through when you're playing through Eggmanland, it's probably gonna go a lot smoother because you know some tricks that you can do. And you know, like, oh, I can skip this part. Oh, I don't need to do this. I can skip this and that. Here's another one I'm speeding through because this took me a while to remember what I was supposed to do. What you're supposed to do, I thought you were supposed to just use them to kind of grab onto, but what you have to do is you have to actually beat these guys up. You have to kill every single one of these enemies in the room, and then you can get out of here. So that took me a while, because I didn't think I'd be able to hit them. The depth perception's kind of weird, and the angle doesn't look like I should be able to hit them. So we're going to speed up again now that I know what to do, because it still takes a while, and I didn't want this video to go over 30 minutes, even though it's damn close to it. And I also just didn't want to split this into 2 videos. And I got really lucky that I didn't, because if I did, this would have bled over into October, and I would have had to like wait to upload it on a different weekend after the Halloween games have started, and I really don't want that. Usually I only upload on weekdays, but video 21 and 22, which are the final videos of Sonic Unleashed, will be going up tomorrow and Sunday. So here's where a bunch of the deaths came in. I don't know what happened in this section. The only good thing about this is that this extra life is there every time, so I pretty much didn't lose any lives. This part, yeah, I really don't know what happened here. It's just a whole bunch of jumps that you have to make that are really precise. That was my fault. Some of these are completely out of reach. That one blue Gaia monster is completely out of reach, and most of the deaths that happen in this section are because of him. And some of them are just because, like, that was weird, I couldn't target that thing that time. It finally happened, but I couldn't do anything with it. This game is so dumb. And my favorite is when you die a whole bunch in a section, you start dying at the parts you're good at, and you've done perfectly from this point, and then you just start failing there. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, the normal jump that I could make, I just wasn't able to make anymore. And the best part about that is that you don't have to go that way. There's another way out this way. That keeps happening in this game. I keep going areas that are really difficult that you don't need to go to. So screw that. I'm out of here. This has gone way smoother. I really figured this was going to feel like it was an hour. I feel like I've only been doing this for 10 minutes, which is a good thing. Because, you know, there's a lot to talk about. You're switching in between the Werehog and Sonic, so it feels fresh, at least. At least we're not doing a 30-minute long Werehog level, which would be awful. Also, I like how my voice cracked there, just at the thought of the Werehog. Werehog! 24-year-old man, my voice should stop cracking. Dude, this one they put the 2 doors in here, but it doesn't really matter. I got really lucky and none of the enemies tried to attack me. Oh, I guess there's actually 3 doors in here. But yeah, none of the enemies attacked me, not even the ones that shoot at me. That would have been annoying if they had started attacking me, but they just didn't. And this is pretty much kind of the end of this stage. All we have to do is fight these big Gaia monsters. You know, there's no more normal Sonic gameplay, it's just the Werehog from here on out, and it's all things that you have to fight. So we're really out of the woods. You know, I can fight these guys with my eyes closed, as long as they stop doing that. Yeah, this went way smoother than I thought it was going to, both in playing the actual level, well, sort of, and talking over it. This was still kind of a nightmare to film, I'll admit. But it wasn't as bad as I thought. I thought I was going to be here for like 2 hours playing through this level, because this is really frustrating, but it wasn't that bad. I was here for about 40 minutes, I think. 45 minutes to 50 minutes, I think, was the cap. It'll say at the end how long I was actually in this level for. And that was just this take of it. I got maybe to the like 2nd or 3rd transition and got a game over, so there was maybe 10 to 15 minutes extra. So whatever my time at the end was, we'll put like 15 minutes on it. We'll put 20 minutes on it just to be safe. And that's how long I was actually in Eggmanland for. You can exit out of here, and Eggmanland does have a hub area like all the other areas in this game. But there's not really a point to it. Once you're here, you don't need any Sun and Moon medals, so there's no real point to explore it. There's, I think an egg fighter you can talk to, gives you like a side mission or something. I don't remember exactly, but, you know, it is what it is. You can visit here for all your Eggmanland needs. I have never revisited Eggmanland, so screw that. And you can see there I'm not even bothering to waste time doing the quick time events on these guys. I just want to get out of here. I don't want to accidentally fail it and then have them gain more health back. So we are just activating our devil trigger and getting the hell out of here. See ya! And you get the hell out of here. I don't want to deal with any of you wizards. There's the goal ring. We're done! Oh, we're done! So that was 40 minutes, so let's just say it was an hour that I spent in Eggmanland. That could have been way worse. But, that's it. The worst is over. Kind of. There's still some annoying things left in the game, because it is Sonic Unleashed. We're going to want to increase the speed a little bit just for one section towards the end. This is like the only time that I would recommend making Sonic a little faster. So, that's it for this video. I will see you in the next one where we truly begin to beat the game.